Ukrainian soldiers neutralize enemy squads in close combat, a densely forest area. In a complex and high-risk operation, reconnaissance troops from the 3rd Army Corps successfully identified and eliminated an enemy infiltration within a dense forested area under their control. The mission, carried out in coordination with assault elements, demonstrates the challenges of woodland warfare and the level of coordination required to maintain territorial integrity in contested zones. According to field reports, enemy infantry had quietly advanced into the forest, using natural cover and terrain to conceal their movement. The infiltration posed a serious threat. Such units can disrupt supply lines, gather intelligence, or launch surprise attacks on Ukrainian positions from within. Detecting them required careful reconnaissance, patience, and familiarity with the terrain. Scouts from the 2nd Assault Battalion, operating under the 3rd Assault Brigade, were tasked with locating and assessing the threat. Equipped with lightweight gear and GoPro cameras, they moved cautiously through the wooded environment, scanning for signs of movement, tracks, or concealed positions. Once the presence of enemy forces was confirmed, soldiers from the 3rd Assault Brigade initiated a strike and search mission. The objective was clear: locate, isolate, and eliminate the infiltrating unit while preventing any further enemy forces from slipping into the area. The operation began with securing the flanks. This step was critical in forest combat, where visibility is limited and the enemy can easily maneuver unseen. By holding the perimeter, Ukrainian troops ensured that the infiltrators would have fewer escape routes and that friendly units could maneuver with reduced risk of ambush. With the flanks stabilized, the assault elements advanced deeper into the forest. Movement was slow and deliberate, with soldiers maintaining spacing and communication to avoid confusion in the dense terrain. The scouts eventually made contact with the infiltrated enemy. The encounter quickly escalated into a firefight. Despite the element of surprise, the Ukrainian troops faced heavy resistance. During the exchange, one of the soldiers was wounded, a moment that tested the unit's discipline under pressure. Rather than breaking formation, the troops adapted. Some provided suppressive fire to pin down the enemy, while others moved to evacuate and assist the wounded comrade.
Single fire. Yeah, right.
As the engagement continued, the unit established a circular defensive formation. This tactic allowed them to maintain 360-degree security, essential in an environment where threats can emerge from any direction. It also enabled them to regroup, assess the situation, and prepare for further enemy movement. Gradually, Ukrainian forces gained the upper hand. They pushed forward, clearing enemy positions one by one. Several enemy combatants were eliminated during the engagement. After securing the immediate area, the soldiers collected documents and materials from the fallen fighters. Such items can provide valuable intelligence, including identification, orders, or maps that may reveal future enemy plans. In a calculated final maneuver, the soldiers managed to lure one of the remaining enemy fighters out of cover. This required a mix of tactical positioning and psychological pressure, convincing the individual that remaining concealed was no longer viable. The enemy soldier was captured alive, providing an opportunity for further intelligence gathering. Capturing a prisoner in such conditions is particularly significant, as it can yield immediate insights into enemy movements, unit composition, and objectives. By the end of the operation, the infiltrating unit had been neutralized, and the forest sector was brought back under control. The successful mission prevented the enemy from establishing a foothold in the area and reduced the risk of future surprise attacks.
Чего? Да, дай бог. Короче, тот самый.
At the same time, a Ukrainian service member known by the call sign Florist, serving in the 92nd Assault Brigade, eliminated 2 opposing troops during a brief but decisive frontline encounter, according to reports from the battlefield. The incident occurred amid ongoing combat operations, where mobility and rapid decision-making often determine survival. The 2 enemy fighters, traveling on motorcycles, reportedly became disoriented and unintentionally passed beyond their intended position, riding directly past concealed Ukrainian forces. Unaware of the danger, the riders entered close proximity to Ukrainian lines. Within moments, Florist engaged them at point-blank range, using small arms. The engagement was swift, leaving no opportunity for the disoriented troops to react or retreat. The episode highlights the chaotic and unpredictable nature of modern frontline engagements, where navigation errors and situational awareness can have immediate and fatal consequences. It also underscores the effectiveness of disciplined defensive positioning and rapid response by Ukrainian units operating in contested areas. Frontline clashes involving small, fast-moving units, such as motorcycles, have become more frequent, particularly in sectors where terrain limits the use of heavier vehicles. However, such tactics carry significant risk when coordination breaks down. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian forces have carried out targeted artillery strikes against Russian troop positions in the Vovchansk direction, according to reports from soldiers on the ground. The operation was conducted by artillery units of the 57th Kostya Hordienko Separate Motorized Infantry Brigade, which has been actively engaged in combat operations in the region. The strikes focused primarily on buildings identified as sheltering Russian troops. By directing fire at these structures, Ukrainian forces aimed to eliminate both the personnel and the protective cover they were using. Soldiers involved in the operation noted that such tactics are intended to deny opposing forces safe positions from which to operate or regroup. Heavy artillery has played a central role in the fire clearance operation. Troops reported that the use of high-caliber weapons allows for the effective destruction of fortified positions, including urban structures that might otherwise provide significant protection. This approach enables Ukrainian forces to neutralize entrenched enemy units more efficiently, particularly in contested areas where close-quarters fighting is common. The Vovchansk direction remains an active front, with both sides seeking to secure advantageous positions. Ukrainian officials have emphasized that sustained artillery pressure is a key component of their strategy, aimed at weakening enemy defenses and limiting their operational capabilities in the area. While details on the scale of damage and casualties were not immediately available, the strikes highlight the continued intensity of fighting in northeastern Ukraine and the reliance on artillery as a decisive tool on the battlefield.
Внимание, выстрел!
Чего? Да, дай бог. Короче, тот самый.
Single fire. Yeah, Rog.